Hello, I am Shiloah Baker, and I want to help you release fear of whatever's happening in the world today. So oftentimes we stop ourselves from making certain decisions or moving forward in different directions because we don't feel peace. We're afraid. We're afraid of, well, let's start filling in blanks. There's political chaos. There's wars. There's food supply stuff. We just got finished doing COVID for what was it? 3 years, really. I mean, I feel like it was by 2023. We're still kind of dealing with some of the residual. We're in 2024 now. We've got an election year coming up. But what else? What else is happening in the world that has been on your mind and your heart that has been concerning? What about family and friends? Are you concerned for them? Do you have concern for their situations? So what happens is whenever we have fear, what we're doing is giving our power to whatever that is. So I'll give you an example. When I was a young mom, I used to watch the news every night because that's what my parents did all growing up. So I was just repeating programming. This is what good adults do. They watch the news. So I started to find that I was more nervous. I was more afraid. And especially the local news, if I would hear about, we had a prison about 30, 45 minutes from us. And so if there was a prison break or, some person murdered someone nearby, it started to make me very nervous to function. A lot of my choices were made because of the power I was giving to the fear, and I felt unsafe. So what happens here is that it brings up our triggers of where in our lives we didn't feel safe or we didn't feel like we had power over our situations. So let's do some clearing. Let's clear all the places that you felt powerless. And I want you to think about that. And I want you to think of a story. Just think of one story. You can come back and listen to this video again, and you'll think of another story. And whatever is connected to that story, all of the emotional baggage, all the fears, all the contracts you made with yourself and the world at that time and others, and maybe even God, like, what happened here? Why didn't I feel safe? Or the universe, if that's your verbiage. So let's clear and release all of that. Anywhere there's generational strings where, there was wars or there was situations or even personal situations of why I need to be afraid of what's going on in the world today. Remember, these are things that are still just speaking to us from the back of our minds. A large portion of our lives are dictated by our subconscious mind. And so our conscious mind is trying to, talk ourselves down and feel at peace about something. And our subconscious mind's like, here's 1,001 reasons to be panicked. Be very, very afraid. Well, and then it doesn't help if you do turn on a news report, or if you turn on or get on social media sometimes and somebody's sharing something, or you watch YouTube or whatever, and there's that fear, that energy of fear. And everyone can tell the difference between someone who's sharing something out of, an energy of maybe concern or, inspiration even. But you can also feel when someone is in a fear space and they're sharing it because they're afraid or they want you to be afraid. And so fear can also be used to control people. And whether that's coming from, social media or news or political or banks, whatever it may be, that fear can control us. And so anywhere fear has had a control over you, let's clear and release all of it. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to get a visual of what that looks like. What does that fear look like? Has it become a monster in your life? Where does it have its hands? Is it a actual monster or a person, or or just a blob? And where does it have its control around you? Is it putting its hands around your neck? Do you feel it in your stomach? Is it stuck in your head? Wherever this is, we're going to send it a lot of light. So some people can imagine it and see it in their mind's eye, the light. Some people can't. They have a harder time with that, and that's okay. You can just feel light. You can just intend for the light, whatever you desire to do. I want you to send light to those areas. We're going to clear and release anywhere this fear has had its hold on you. All the image, the stories, the timelines, the patterns, the programs, anywhere it's related to entities, whether it's a person, place, thing, but it's kind of built up on its own personality. Sometimes those can have its hold on us, and we give it a lot of power. So let's clear that. And I want you to get connected to probably your favorite place that makes you feel safe. We all have some place in our lives, whether it's the beach or a building, maybe mom's house, maybe for those who are a member of my church, the temple, or even church. Everybody has a place. I want you to imagine how you feel there. And we are going to integrate all of those feelings of safety and peace, calmness. Also, in place of this, let's plug in for you guys confidence. At this point in your life, you do know a lot of things that you can do to change your world, to make it feel safe. And if you're not in that space yet, you know what it looks like. We're going to plug in permission to be the change, to allow change, allow healing. Anywhere you can't quite access it, let's clear the blocks. Let's restore hope. Hope in your life. And that nothing that's going on in the world has to have power over you. And that you are worthy and deserving, and you have full permission to live in peace and harmony and happiness. And anything else standing in the way of that, let's clear it. Okay, so I have enjoyed having you on this little clearing. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. I have a lot of places that I am posting these kinds of things. I've been doing this work for 16 years. I've mostly been doing private coaching. However, I've done tons and tons of group clearings. I've been doing a monthly group call. So I will post those things in the comments of this video. And I have a TikTok and Instagram where I'm sharing some of these things as well. And don't forget to find us on Patreon, because on Patreon, I do a bunch of these videos for quick clearings. If you just have 5 minutes, you have 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever, you can have access to that. So have an amazing day. Sending you so much love and light. Bye now.